My name is Lila Donovan, and I'm from Moncton, New Brunswick, and I'm an artist.
And we're at the Moncton Library today for your new exhibit, launched today, titled "We Are Not Going Back, Enough is Enough." Could you talk about the themes in this exhibit and what that title means?
So it's we're not going back. What it really means is that in the past 10 years, we've seen a lot of toxic masculinity, and it's a lot of misogyny, and this has been going on for a long time, but it seems to be excessive at this point, to such a point that I started working on this exhibit over 8 years ago, and it kept unfolding, and it came from me being so frustrated with what's happening. So it's we're not going back. What it really means is that in the past 10 years, we've seen a lot of toxic masculinity, and it's a lot of misogyny, and this has been going on for a long time, but it seems to be excessive at this point, to such a point that I started working on this exhibit over 8 years ago, and it kept unfolding, and it came from me being so frustrated. It's really important to say that it's an art exhibit that addresses the anger and frustration women have towards the misogynistic, patriarchal, industrial systems that are killing women, girls, gender diverse people, and the planet. So using poetry, prose, and images, I reveal the abuse, the violence, the programming, and the need for courage to go forward in community with other women, gender diverse and conscious men, to dream and build a better and healthier world. So that's really the essence of my work here. And I know that it's very powerful, and one of the people that was looking at it today told me, if this was in Florida, you'd probably be shot. And it is very powerful pieces, I know that, and I think that it's important that we speak out, and we can't be silent, especially now. And I love the theme for this year, for International Women's Day, and what it is, it's unite, act, and it's with a fist, act with strong muscles. And so it's important to really feel your feet, be present, and take action.
And so it seems like this is kind of a response to this backlash that we've been seeing against kind of the anti-colonial movement.
Yes.
Talk about some of the themes in your work, like
Yes.
We see colonialism,
Yes.
misogyny,
Yes.
And so on.
I see all of that as related. So I really feel that the patriarchy has destroyed this planet. And, it's like seeking simply control over, and the importance of really having harmony and respect for each other. And we're in a massive crisis, and then we have this idiot, misogynist in the White House, and it's just insanity. And people know it's insanity. The man clearly has mental illness, and it's driving the death of the planet even further, and so many deaths of women. And we need to talk about that. Women are not safe in their own homes. That's crazy.
And I noticed that your work it references your grandchildren or your granddaughter.
Yes.
Daughters, I don't know.
Yeah, my granddaughter. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
my grandson. They're in this piece that I did here. It's a surreal piece, and I did this a couple of years ago and won an award for this one.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And she's also in another piece that I did called Granddaughter, and I did a intentional camera movement portrait along with a poem, a prose poem that I wrote for that too. They symbolize all children in the world, right? That's what I'm doing there. So we want to have a healthy future for children.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that. I mean, you talked about the Earth has been destroyed, but I mean, I guess you must have. It hasn't been completely destroyed. It has it.
No.
And so I guess I just want to know, what do you think has to be done to protect it for future generations?
Well, I think we need to change our consciousness and realize that we're all humans here together on this planet, and we need to respect each other. We need to work for peace. We need to work for healing, and it's really important that we have the courage to share how we feel, and at the same time, we need to have dialogue and healing programs for each other. And there are healing programs going on in different places, to help men shift their attitudes and ideas, and for helping people realize that so many religions are not healthy for the planet at all. They're not healthy for women, and they're patriarchal, and it's not working for us.
So it sounds like a message of fight back. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but at the same time, it is a message of fight back for sure, because we're not going to be walked over. We have to realize that, and a lot of women have to be, and I think a lot of young women they're not taking this anymore. They're standing up and realizing that we don't need to take this. However, there are situations around the world, Afghanistan, where women can't even be heard whispering in the streets. So this is insanity, right? Things have changed, and then now we're seeing that happening in the States, where they're starting to go back. So it's important for us to speak up with each other, to support each other, for all women. And what I mean by that, all women, every race, shape, color, size. This is very important for women to group together, and with their compassionate brothers, their sons, their partners, because there are a lot of great men. I have 7 brothers whom I love, but I grew up tough too. And so you have to be tough, and we can express our emotions and know that we're intuitive, as are men as well. But we also have lots of reason, and we can be very decisive, and women are leaders. And people know in the research, when you have women there for peace, peace happens. We need to have peace in the world.
I thought this was interesting. This the mirror facing us here.
Yes, and the idea is that's blood spills on it, right? That the misogynists are causing death to a lot of women and girls and gender diverse people. And so it's just take a look in there and realize, do you have any misogynistic qualities? And people often think it's simply extreme hatred against women, but it's more than that. It's also the belittling of them and not valuing of them. So it's important to understand, what does it mean? This is a group of women and girls from the Moncton area, and of all shapes and sizes, color and races. And the idea is that it symbolizes women standing together, willing to unite and work together. And so I'm very pleased with that. As you've noticed in the exhibit, there are a lot of portraits. All of the images are portraits along with poetry. In this particular one, this is a self-portrait, and it's a portrait of me dead. And the idea behind this is to realize, what are you doing on this planet? Coming to terms with your soul's message. Are you singing the song of your soul? And so I think it's good for everybody to look into their heart, to examine that. How are you living your life? The idea is to have courage in your life, right? And really listen to your heart to do what you love.
And I noticed you've got this mix of images, as you said, photo, poetry, prose, there's collage, or
I loved doing collage as a kid. I used to do a lot of collage.
Can you talk about your approach to this mixed media format?
Well, I feel I love to express myself, and photography is a way that photography is a challenging medium, and I learned how to take photographs. I've been taking them since a child, and I love doing it. I find a peace in myself when I'm taking photographs. I also am a person, I love narrative as well. So, for example, this one here in the dark hedges of Ireland, that was a photography workshop I was on, but and it was really a landscape workshop. But I had it in my mind. I brought the cape. I brought everything. I knew what I was with intention, and I really believe lots of great art is created with intention. So I love to combine things and tell stories. And I was a journalist for years. So obviously I learned how to tell stories. And I love to write poetry too. So writing uh, didn't like just simply being called a photographer because I know how to write. And I wanted to be able to combine all these things together, so that's why I did it like that. And in Edinburgh, you know that centuries ago, many women were hung and burned as witches, and they weren't really witches. They were women, probably like myself, speaking out the truth. And so I wanted to honor those women, and so I did this photograph. Very near where the hangings and the murders occurred. And the red cape symbolizes the red blood that is flowed by those women. And the lilies are a symbol of rebirth, and there are 5 lilies, and 5 is a symbol of change. And so it's to freedom. And then the other thing that's interesting about this piece is that there are 2 lawyers in Scotland that are looking to have all the women pardoned, because that still hasn't occurred. So that was to freedom.
So
This is the first time this photograph is shown.
So the women convicted of witchcraft in Scotland are still on the books as
Some of them
criminals.
Are. Yeah, some of them are. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. And this one here, that her face is, it looks like it's bruised and battered, and she's caped, and but there's light around her, so it symbolizes that you may be beaten up, but the spirit is still there, and the spirit will eventually come through. I'm asking people to fight misogyny and make sure that they're educating themselves. That's what my purpose in doing this exhibit is, to inspire people to ask the questions: how am I living my life? Am I in a circumstance? And I know lots of them definitely are. And so it's having the courage to get out of it and not to accept the abuse. And so women need to support other women. Men need to support the women, because there are conscious men. And the conscious men need to help other men wake up to understand that the reason you're like this is because of years and years of programming, and we need to have the courage to act to support those programs and make sure that we work to resolve this problem. I know it's not going to happen overnight. However, if we don't work at it, women will be like what's happening in Afghanistan, in Iran, in China, in Russia, and what's happening in the United States right now. It's not a good thing. We need to fight it.
When does the exhibit run to?
It runs until the end of March, and I'd love to see lots of people here, and I'd also love to be showing this exhibit in as many places as possible.
Fantastic. Anything else to add before we end?
Honor women, honor men, honor humans, honor the earth.
Honor life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.